So then guys, for the next generation of the Mac Studio, when's it coming out, how much is it going to cost, and also what kind of upgrade changes are we going to see with it? Well, today I want to discuss all these details with you. But first of all, let's go over a little bit of a history lesson of where we are right now with the Mac Studio at the moment. So just recently, this year in 2025, we did actually get an upgrade to the Mac Studio. The Mac Studio got upgraded from the M2 Ultra to the M3 Ultra and also the M4 Max. Now, this was very confusing when this did come out because lots of us were expecting to actually get an M4 Max and also get the likes of, say, the M4 Ultra, but this didn't come to be. It's a bit confusing why Apple actually have done this. Maybe it's something to do with marketing, we just don't know. But in essence, when we did actually doing things like benchmarking and things like this, well, actually the M4 Max came very close to the M3 Ultra. It didn't give us like the old kind of performance jumps where you had M2 Ultra to the sort of M2 Max, or say the M1 Ultra to the likes of the M1 Max. It didn't give us that kind of same kind of performance difference. And most of you guys out there who've got, say, an M2 Ultra Mac Studio, and like including myself, did not see the need to upgrade whatsoever to the likes of, say, an M3 Ultra. But having said that, the M4 Max version of the Mac Studio was a very good buy for its price, with the performance gains that you get inside of that, and also that it only costs you $2,000 for all of that performance. So from that point of view, it was really good. But looking forward then to the next step in saying the Mac Studio's journey, well, where are we going to be going here? Are we actually going to see the M4 Ultra and then we're going to get, say, the M5 Max with this? Well, I don't believe this is going to be the case. And the main reason is we had a leak in, or some information right here, and this actually came from an Apple exec saying just because, you know, they've made an M4 Max or an M3 Max or something like this doesn't necessarily mean they're always going to make an Ultra chip in every single generation. So personally, in my opinion, I think that the M4 Ultra is never going to exist. I think that Apple are going to jump straight to M5 Ultra. So we'll have M5 Max and M5 Ultra. So then the question asked with that then, when is the likelihood that we're going to start seeing the start of the M5 journey? Well, we've been told that the M5 journey is going to be starting at the end of 2025. And most likely we're going to see M5 chips being put inside like the iPad Pro and also, of course, the MacBook Pros, where we get the M5, M5 Pro and the M5 Max. But the M5 Ultra, well, that'll be a little bit later on, what I'll talk about a little bit later on in this video. But for the actual Mac Studio in itself, in its design-wise, probably nothing is really going to change here. We're probably going to get the exact same ports that we've got on the rear right now. Obviously, they're going to be running Thunderbolt 5 with those USB-C kind of ports there, but really nothing else too much is going to change in its actual design because we've got those really powerful fans inside it to keep everything nice and cool on the inside. The only one thing that I said that could come out is that we could actually see a new kind of sort of space kind of grey, or even say a space black color, something similar to like we're seeing in these renders right here, what Apple could introduce. And also we could see the update to the new Studio display too, because obviously the Studio display is something that definitely needs to be upgraded. This came alongside the original Mac Studio with the M1 Max and the M1 Ultra, and really, to be honest, what this display is essentially the 27-inch iMac display, what came out back in 2014. It's the same technology. Nothing really has changed here with that over those years. So we're talking like a technology that's already over 10 years old, which definitely needs an upgrade. And personally, I think we're going to see Pro Motion installed into these displays. Maybe it might be micro LED. I don't think it's going to be OLED, but this is definitely something exciting to see that could be coming out when we do get the next generation of the Mac Studio 2. But what I do think the highlight will be for the next generation of the Mac Studio is to do with that M5 Ultra, because I think we're going to get the M5 Ultra and we're also going to get the M5 Max put inside of it. And I want to tell you about the cores that we could potentially see inside of it. So let's start with the M5 Max, what we could see there. So the M4 Max right now inside of the likes of the Mac Studio actually gives us up to a 16-core CPU. And with that, we actually get 12 cores that are performance and 4 cores that are actually efficiency. But with the M5 Max, we could get 2 additional more performance cores. We'll probably have the same amount of efficiency cores, that's 4 of them. But what we could get with that, we could now have 14 performance cores, what would be absolutely amazing to see. And this would basically mean essentially we'd have an 18-core CPU. And this is more than likely something that Apple like to do, because whenever they bring out a next generation, they tend to introduce, say, 2 more performance cores on the Pro and also the Max series, on the top range one. So this is definitely on the cards, that this is something what they are likely going to do with the M5 Max. This is going to be great news to hear there. But then for the GPU cores, right now with the M4 Max, we can go up to 40 cores with that. And again, more than likely, Apple will probably introduce 2 more cores again. Something like what they've done in the past. They introduced, say, 2 more cores in the next generations. So I would probably say with this, we're probably going to get up to a 42-core GPU inside of it. And this is going to be absolutely amazing to see when this does come out. But then for the M5 Ultra, what are we likely going to see there? Well, the only comparison we can do this to is towards the M3 Ultra. Remember, that is one step behind, say, the M4 Ultra, it never came to be. And that only gave us a 32-core CPU and also only gave us a 80-core GPU we could go up to. But with the M5 Ultra, things are going to change probably quite a bit here. What we could essentially get this time round is up to a 36-core CPU this time. This would be absolutely amazing to see. 28 of those cores would actually be performance ones, and 8 of them would be the efficiency. So this would be super powerful to have inside of this for the CPU elements. And then for GPU cores, we could probably get up to 84 GPU cores this time round for the likes of the M5 Ultra. So this is going to definitely be a screamer of a device when it does come out. Something that I'm excited to come out, or give away I would say, is this MacBook Air, what I have right here, what I'm going to be giving away to one lucky subscriber on this channel in just a couple of weeks time at the end of June 2025. And the great thing is you can still enter into this giveaway right now. All you have to do at this stage to enter in is just put down into the comments below of what technology gear you're hoping to get in 2025. Maybe it is going to be a new Mac of some sort. Maybe it's going to be a new iPhone. Maybe it's got nothing to do with Apple whatsoever. Maybe it could be a Nintendo Switch 2 or something else. Well, just let me know in the comments below. And the second part of this giveaway is going to be happening in about 2 weeks' time, where I'll be making a video giving you even more details about it, including a form to fill in, and also telling you when I'm going to do the live stream of this giveaway. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because you won't want to miss out on that video. Plus, you want to be a subscriber too, because obviously I'm giving this away to a subscriber. The other thing to also mention is that this MacBook Air has also been specced up a fair bit too. It's actually got the 10-core CPU and 10-core GPU in this 13.6-inch model, and it's also got 24 gigabytes of RAM instead of 16, and 512 gigabytes of storage instead of 256 gigabytes. And like I said, you can be the lucky person to get your hands on this at the end of June time. But the last thing I just want to quickly say about the giveaway is that sadly there are still lots of scammers, spammers, and people who still impersonating me, turning to WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram direct message. Please do ignore these people. Better can see right here. Please do report them. So moving on from this then, what about the release date and price? Well, let's start out with the release date. Well, the current Mac Studio came out in springtime 2025. So the earliest we could see an update is going to be some point next year in 2026. The earliest when we could see it is probably going to be springtime again, and that's when we could get it. But personally, I think it might be delayed out maybe even to say WWDC 2026, when we could actually see these new Mac Studios. But as we get closer to the time, I'll be able to let you guys know exactly when it's going to come out. But what I'm going to be saying is spring or summer 2026 for the time being. But then what about the actual price? Well, at the moment, the Mac Studio, if you go for, say, the likes of the M4 Max, the baseline version of this, which does have some bin cores inside of it and the minimum amount of storage and minimum amount of RAM, starts at $2,000. And then the likes of the M3 Ultra, well, that starts at the likes of $4,000. And again, that's the minimum amount of storage, RAM, cores, you get the idea. And obviously, I think that next year, it could be the same pricing again for the Max and also the Ultra version. version, because this is what it's been like in the past. But there is one thing that could interfere with this, is obviously tariffs, because we've been hearing loads of things about tariffs, how that could be flicking around with prices with Apple products. So we'll just have to wait and see. But at the moment, I would say baseline the prices on the Mac Studios that exist right now. And as we get closer and more tariffs get settled, if they do or not, we'll be able to confirm to you exactly how much these new Mac Studios are likely going to cost when they do come out. But really, guys, that is the latest and greatest we have on the Mac Studio. Are you excited for them? Is this something that you want to get? Well, let me know in the comments below. And with that as well, guys, it's time to wrap up this video too. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. As always, if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I'll see you really soon. Take care. Bye-bye.